If the Fab Five had this name, image, and likeness, like what? How different do you think it would have been after your freshman year at Michigan?
Well, I think even during our freshman year in Michigan, it would have been, incredible. It's crazy because then, like, I think yesterday someone told me that it was the 28th year anniversary of me getting drafted at the same time the Supreme Court ruling and the NCAA. And it's really interesting because I always think about Johnny Manziel. And I'll tell you why. Like, what if he never plays football again, right? He went to Canada. We know he did all this other stuff. And we know he was famous for money and all that. Let's just take any personal thought of morale out of it, right? Whether he got in this place on his own or whatever. He'll never be able to duplicate that again.
Yeah.
And I think what people don't realize is it was always a dumb quagmire because it had nothing to do with the NCAA. You know how many local car dealerships would get more money by paying the walk-on to come sit, sign autographs at that car dealership? One person's gonna buy a car. I mean, period. So, you just cast those numbers of a guy's value. And I just think that, that's the peak of your value. It's the peak. And so to me, when I look at it, I think, if our jersey sold well, if it was the highest time of highest admissions at the school, if we could sell black socks and Hirachis, then I'm pretty sure we would have done well on our own selling T-shirts at $10 a pop before the game. Because you think about all the fake T-shirts of us that went on before the game. What if we could have just sold those of ourselves? You know what I mean? So I just think really it's the American way to be able to use your name and your likeness. So to me, it's common sense, and I think we would have done pretty well.
Would you have stayed an extra year if you could have gotten paid as much as an NBA rookie?
That's a great question. So times were very different. So I was 20, and I think at the time, no player had come out as a sophomore since Magic Johnson, who was in 79, and mine was like 18 years later. So a big difference. But yeah, I called the time out. We lost the championship. I wanted to stay there anyway and try to win the championship. You're a kid, you're young, you figure that you're going to live forever. And so for me, in my situation, well, most definitely, I was 30 minutes from my mother's cooking, my family, I'm the oldest of five. Yes, I would have and waited to take that leap. Shaq left the year before as a junior, so it would have made sense to me. So yeah, definitely, I think, I definitely would have had a lot to think about. I wouldn't have had any excuse.
And you benefited, Jalen Rose benefited, Juwan Howard benefited, but Ray Jackson and Jimmy King, they didn't have pro careers, and they could have gotten paid as members of the Fab Five.
And the way the Fab Five were first of all, you're right. Shout out to Ray and Jimmy. They're smart. They could have done it, and we have rules where we do things together. So we would have been more empowered because everybody's average would have went up because you got to pay rent and the same. So that's definitely how we were, but. I want you to think about a guy on our team like Eric Riley. He was the Big Ten shot blocking leader before we got there, came there with us. He was our ride, used to always pile into his car. We would have got him things saying, no, if you're going to use me, could you use him next week? We would have empowered everybody to walk on. That's what I'm saying. The way we were, team first, the whole team would have been in there, and maybe you'd take less or whatever. So, no, this empowers everyone. If I'm the best offensive lineman and I'm going number one, I guarantee you all linemen can go sign with me up here. Because now I can wield my power for the team, for the guys, So I think it's awesome. I think it's stupid to celebrate because it's what it should be. You should use your own name. But at the same time, I think it's awesome for these young kids and these individuals to be able to use their name, to be able to focus on, it's so much pressure as a student athlete. You still have to come through with the grades, depending on what program you go to. You work just as hard as other students, but at the same time, it's cool to be a kid there on campus, depending on pizza and everything. But, it's a different world. Some of these athletes have children. Some of them have families that need that, and it's great to go send that back to them. So I look forward to seeing how the Supreme Court, their ruling, the NCAA having to accept it. I look forward to seeing how it benefits the lives of young student athletes.